Hi everyone, I'm Mona Jalal. I'm one of the graders for the deep learning course this semester, and happy to assist you with various tasks. So today I'm gonna teach you how to use the Gradescope for uploading your homework, and also I would be showing a couple of things in Piazza. So let's start with the Gradescope. So I'm gonna share my screen. So I'm in the Piazza. So let's actually just go from the beginning. Like I'm going to Piazza, and usually if it's your first course or your only course, you would be landing in the Piazza itself. Otherwise, you have to click on this arrow and then you would see the courses. So I'm actually graded for 2 courses. I see the courses here. So apart from that, the posts that need a lot of attention from you are usually in the pin section. So if you go to the pin section and click on converting Jupyter notebook, you would see a couple of comments that I have entered here. You're going to use this for converting your IPython notebooks to PDF. You could, of course, do it in one pass or use export in the Jupyter notebook itself. But the problem is that usually if there are some problems, it ends up with only one page of PDF. So this is a safer way, and it's two-phase comment, but we're going to use this one. So I'm just going to copy this command and then going to my terminal. So if you don't have a terminal, please click on the magnifier and then search terminal. So that's going to land here. So just in case if you're wondering why this is like this color, this is Dracula from, if you go to shell, new tab, they have various options. The normal one is a white, kind of hard, like to read, but the Dracula is quite good. Anyway, so I'm in where my IPython notebook is. So I'm going to convert it to a PDF. I mean, this one is actually only the homework question. You don't really need to basically convert it to PDF, but I'm just going to the showcase. Or actually what you could do is actually copy this to our solution, create a solution notebook. So I'm going to just make this CP homework on IPython notebook to homework 1 underline solution dot ipynd. So it's going to be the same thing basically, but just like another name. If you do an ls, you would see it. So I'm going to use the command that I had, except I'm going to just convert this to a solution. So this is going to create a text file, and after this command is done, I use the command clear. If you do a ls-ltra, you would see the text file created at the end, which is the last one that was created. So from here, I'm going to use a second command, which is using the PDF LaTeX command. So if you use PDF LaTeX, and then you just copy this. I'm using Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V here. So this is quite important. So you're going to see a lot of like question marks, and you have to press enter, enter, enter just until the end. So you have to press quite a lot of enter. That's not I mean, it's going to work, but just press those enters. I'm literally just putting my hand on the enter button, or return button based on your machine. So if you do a ls-ltra here, you see a log here, and then you see the PDF actually created here. So if you want to see the PDF from your terminal, assuming that you have a Mac, you could use the command open, and then just copy paste this, Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V, and then it's going to open it with your default PDF viewer. Mine is actually Adobe Acrobat DC, so somehow I didn't open it. Okay, it's opened it. So you can actually get all the Adobe Acrobat solutions and softwares through the BU license. It's called Creative Cloud. You have to log in with your BU login. It's amazing. Actually, we have like access to a lot of crazy good software. So definitely check that out. There's a lot of good things about Adobe Acrobat DC, such as sign, signature, and like highlighting your PDF. So anyway, if you write open something.pdf in the terminal, it's going to open it here. I want to actually emphasize on the fact that you should not worry about this like sectioning. It's just based on the number, like how the fonting is in the Jupyter. So do not worry about this like 112 and such. what you're gonna like focus is just the ones that is starting with Q. So Q11 is the question you're gonna focus on. So basically do not, you know, deal with what is like something like this. What is like 114, you know. So what you're gonna focus is basically Q21 or Q22. So now that we have the PDF, we're gonna upload it to the Piazza, sorry, to Gradescope. So here I'm gonna write Gradescope, and if you do not have the code to enter, you gotta come over here, and then we have a Gradescope entry code. So you're gonna use this code to enter, and you have to use this link. Apart from that, you should be good to go. So you come over here to the CS523, and then this is very important. So for each homework, we want you to not only upload the PDF that you made through this series of comments, but also the original IPython notebook. This is the case if something is like, you know, we are suspicious of, or we want something to be run on our end for whatever reason, we need to actually have access to the original IPython notebook. Apart from that, I want to say that make sure that you run all of your cells and do not run the PDF conversion command before you run all of your cells. The same with IPython notebook. Please make sure that you already have run all of your cells. This is in the ready mode. Everything is already run. The cells are executed, and you after that you upload the, you know, IPython notebook. So let's actually upload the PDF. So the PDF upload is a little trick here. So since I'm not a student, it's gonna be a little tricky for me. So I have to, I'm in a two role right now, a student instructor. So I'm gonna act like a student right now, and I'm gonna upload as a student. So Anil is another grader in the course. This is actually good because you would see a demo when what happens when you already have a submission and you're going to submit again. So I'm gonna select a file here, and the homework is here. So I'm gonna only upload the solution. You don't need to upload the question because you already have it, right? So please upload your solution.pdf here and then upload. So this is very important. This is the part that you have to assign where each question lies in the, you know, like 23 or 25 pages of like PDF, okay? So let's go to Q1. So for the Q1, if you look at here, where the answer lies, okay? So the Q1 answer, you know, like I know that we don't have an answer here, but you're gonna have your answer here, right? So Q1 answer is lies here. So you first select it from the left-hand side panel, and then you select the right-hand side panel. So I say, okay, Q1 answer is here. It also is here. So Q14 is here, okay? And then we move to the question 2 because Q1 is done, Q14 is the last part. So let's go to Q2, and then Q2, the first part is here, and it continues to here, okay, to the 4th page. So for the Q3, you come here and then select this part. I mean, you just basically select the whole page, okay? It just makes our grading much easier. Otherwise, we might have to go regrade requests and such. It just makes things quite complex. So please click this page and then whatever page that contains the answer for Q3. And then it's still this page and this page, because these all potentially include the answer, okay? So for Q4, we go select this part, and that's it. And the last question, the answer lies in this page, and then this page. So after you assign all the pages to the questions, you click on submit. And then you say, it says the first page is not matched, which is fine because the first page was just like introductory and just a question. It didn't contain the answer, so it's fine. But it's good that it tells you just in case if you miss to assign one page. Before I do that, I want to actually just show something. Please note when I was matching, I selected to view one page per, you know, one page of PDF per, you know, a screen, because otherwise it's kind of very hard to see what is where, you know. So what I did, I change the zooming to the full screen, and then I'm gonna just submit it and then say submit assignment. So your assignment is going to be here, okay? And yeah, that should be it. about how you can assign, PDF pages, I just want to show one comment in the command line, which I actually told in the Piazza. So we have a comment called ls-ltra. So what is good about this comment is not only it shows all the access right, who has access from user group, such and such, it also shows what is the last file that is created, which is very important in computer science or, I don't know, electrical engineering, any sort of computing that you do, because you usually are mostly interested in what is the last thing that is created, right? And you could also say ls-ltra-h. So if you see the difference here, now the sizes are human readable because H means human readable. So T is time, R is reverse, time reverse, show things on the time reverse format. A is for the hidden files. So basically we are using a combination of flags with the ls command, which is like list files. So if you don't want to enter this every time, so what you're gonna do, actually I already have it as alias, so I wanna show that I'm entering all the ls and still see the whole thing, right? So if you're lazy like me and you don't want to enter ls-ltrh every single time, what you're gonna do, you're gonna change your bash rc or bash profile if you're in Mac. In other version of Linux, you're gonna reuse bash rc. But since I'm in Mac and OS 6, so I'm gonna use bash profile. So I'm gonna edit this, and I'm using V. You could use any other editor. So please edit it with V. If you can with E. So since I'm using E, since I'm using V, I'm gonna come to the end of the file. I'm using Shift G. So Shift G combination puts the cursor at the end of the file. And then I already have actually the alias command. I'm gonna delete it with DD. So DD command actually removes something, a line. And I'm gonna come to the end of the line. And then if you want to enter anything in the, if you want to write anything in the V, you have to use I command. So I'm just entering I to be in the insert mode, and then I'm gonna write my comment. So you see I already have another alias command, which is here for composer. So I'm gonna write the alias for ls command. So I'm gonna say if I enter ls, what you're gonna execute is this command, ls-ltrah, okay? So that just makes things much easier. So if you wanna get out of the insert mode, you're gonna press escape and then colon X. Okay, I did not actually enter the whole thing. So I'm gonna press escape and colon X or colon WQ, whatever that is much more comfortable for you. So it's gonna save it, and you just don't end up here. You have to actually source your bash profile. So it's a system-wide changes. So you have to say source dot bash profile. So this way, if you just enter ls, you're gonna see the entire changes that is affected. So that's for now. Another thing that I want to say about Piazza is that right now, the posts that are super important, such as like Gradescope entry code or errata homework one, or something like this that is super important, like convert Jupyter notebook to PDF. What we have done for them is actually, as an instructor, we are basically forcing the students to read this in order to be able to post whatever they want to post or they need to post. So as you see, I have put this in your reading list. It's not going to earn you any grade, but what it's going to do is actually force you to read it. For whatever reason, you might miss it, even though we have put it in the pin post. The reason is like some of these posts are quite important and we really don't want you to miss it. So this is a new feature by Piazza. And unless you don't read this, you would not be able to post any question. Another potential very important thing is make sure you have a question that is like you don't want others to see it. It either has basically the answer, it has the code. Make it private. But if there's a question that is gonna be really useful for others, please make it public. Disclaimer: if you see a post that is gonna be really helpful for many people, we're gonna make it public. And otherwise, if you see a post that actually contains a lot of code and quite partial solution to an answer to a question, we're gonna make it private because we want to give others a chance to actually try the problems. So if there is any question regarding Piazza or Gradescope or general command line, please let us know. And I also want to let you know about the resources that we have at the BU regarding RCS. So if you actually go to RCS, so you might have received this email or you might not have received it. If you haven't received it, you can get in touch with me. But STC or RCS, which is a resources for computing at Boston University, has a giant amount of resources that you can actually get in touch. And since right now everything is on Zoom, there's a potential they have already, they have recording of introduction to Linux or RCS. These are going to be really useful for you. You're taking a deep learning course or machine learning course, like learning Python or intermediate Python or even like advanced Python. They're going to be super useful for you. Definitely check these classes. Since like the limit is 300 people, there's a good chance you can manage a seat in the class. I mean, it's just virtual, but definitely check them out. There's a lot of resources for people who are teaching these courses, and you're gonna really be finding them useful. So this is for now.